Welcome, everyone. This is Garrisons, Changing the Way You Pay, Episode 7. So, we are in here for a week now, just collecting mats, just patiently, just doing our chores every day. I've been live streaming all my Garrison chores every day that I do this for the last week, and just accumulating stuff to start selling in the auction house. I'm gonna go through later today. After today's episode, I'll go through and review what I have and decide whether or not it's early, if it's not too early to start trying to make some gold. So we're gonna go over here, collect our resources first. As you know, it gets repetitive by the time we're on like the 5th character, but this is only the first one today, so let's get this done quick. In previous episode, we dumped all our garrison resources that we were collecting over time. You'd be amazed at how fast you stack garrison resources due to once your garrisons are level 3 and all your buildings are built and everything's where it's supposed to be, all of a sudden you're going to be like, I can't loot my garrison cache because my garrison resources are capped. That's when you dump them at those vendors like I was talking about in previous episodes. We'll take a peek, see what the vendor is today, see if it's beneficial, see if there's anything that it has that I need. So I do my vendor shopping with garrison resources as they show up. So I'll check the vendor, and then I'll check what materials he has for cheap. The inexpensive materials, if any of my characters need them for work orders, I'll just buy one quick stack and send them over to those characters, or depending on how many resources that particular character has, I might just switch over and buy them with the exact character that needs them. A lot of podlings today, I like that. Extras are always good. See, 7 work orders. Been going all day. All last night, didn't do a thing. And it went through 7 work orders for the day. That's not too bad. It's pretty easy. If you have a storehouse at your characters, it increases work orders available, so you can, keep more work orders up and running. But if you're only doing 7 a day, technically if you check it every 24 hours, you wouldn't need to level your garrison buildings up past 2. And the only reason I say that you would need 2 is because you have to have level 2 to put a follower in it. Once you put a follower in your garrison buildings, it doubles the production orders. So instead of getting 2 items for every work order, you get 4. This mine is such a big place. And look at me, I'm not even using my mining buffs like a big tard. Let's grab some speed boost, we'll grab some mining boost, and let's go to town. Get this done a little quicker, hit the fast forward button. I was going to post this video early last night right after reset, but I was so tired that I didn't want to be dozing off and making a fool out of myself, falling asleep at the wheel like I was in episode 6. So episode 6 took me like an extra half hour to do because of all the drowsiness. Alright, we got the herb garden done and the mine done on character number 1 here. Move on to the profession buildings. So, 7 work orders. 26 ingots. There we go. 32 with 8 work orders. Now, you just seen one day I pulled 32 fractured temporal crystals out of there. 32 fractured temporal crystals equals 3 temporal crystals. I'm going to take an extra minute here just to show you guys something real quick. Every day, if you loot 2 to 3 crystals out of those buildings, and then you post them in the auction house, let's see what they're worth today. So temporal crystals coming in at, survey says, I guess there's a lot more in here than I thought. There we go, 160 gold each, which is cheap. So even if you sold all 3 of those crystals for 160 gold a piece, let's say there's a 15 gold auction house cut out of every one of those. So 145 gold each. That's 400 and almost, that's like 435 gold. So 435 gold a day out of each of those. If you had 4 characters that you did that on every day, that's over 1,200 gold a day. Just from those buildings. All you need is an enchanter study with a follower inside it, and you can pay for your WoW account. You guys want to be lazy? I'll show you that on your next video, since I have temporal crystals at everyone. Now, if you double up and you put enchanter study at everyone. If you double up and you put an enchanter study at everyone and a jewel crafting building at everyone, and you do your jewel crafting daily every day, which I'll show you on my next character here. Let me finish this up. Go to the bank real quick. Dump some of this stuff off. Look at all the mats that are accumulating. I got tons of trillium. Herbs slowly accumulating. I'm only growing 1 herb here. Obviously you can see which one it is, Talador Orchid. But That's quite a bit of collection here, huh? Got plenty of ingots. You know, there's so many ways to make gold in this game nowadays, and I hear all these people cry about how they're broke, and I see people begging in trade chat for gold like a bunch of panhandlers, and you know, just all this ridiculous stuff, and it just sickens me that people are so fucking lazy that they can't make their own fucking in-game currency. So we're gonna hearth over to the farm. Remember I was telling you in previous episodes the benefits of the farm? Well, you guys should all be catching on now about the benefits of the garrison buildings and seeing how I'm accumulating materials, and that should get the wheels turning in your heads about, wow, look at all those materials he's accumulating. What's he gonna make with those? It doesn't even matter what my professions are. I can make anything I want. Like, this guy's not even a blacksmith, and I got tons of ingots. But because I have a forge at my garrison, I could walk up to the trainer there, ask him to craft me some stuff with my mats, like the warforged gear, like the belts and the boots and the bracers, stuff that doesn't have BOAs, stuff that doesn't have set bonuses. That way people use them to level from 91 to 100. They get those few items that they can't get out of heirlooms so they can fill those holes. You're allowed 3 warforged pieces. Most people grab like a weapon, maybe a belt, maybe some boots, maybe some bracers. But all it takes is going about and doing your chores once a day. When I start posting these auctions, when I start collecting everything and getting them sent over to this character, this is the only character I'll be posting auctions on. A, it helps me keep track of what I need to keep posting. B, it keeps people from knowing and affiliating my bank tune with my main, because I don't want people affiliating my main with my banker in case I piss somebody off with undercuts or whatever. Oops, I forgot to grab the seeds. But yeah, so it'll be easier for me to keep track of everything because everything will be accumulated on one character, and then you'll just watch the gold flow in. Once the gold starts flowing in, after I start posting auctions, you guys are gonna shit yourselves. You're gonna see me post auctions on one episode, and then the next episode I'm gonna go empty my bank or empty my mail, and you're gonna be amazed at how much gold I pull out of there in such a little amount of time and how easy it was. Considering I didn't need to level up professions, I really didn't need to do much of anything. I mean, yeah, I have all my professions maxed, and I have all of that. But with the availability of making the basic stuff, the only thing that you can't do is the upgrades. But when you're selling a basic one for a few hundred gold a piece to a few thousand gold a piece, depending on the item, sell 10 of those. That's a nice chunk of your monthly fee. Done. Let's go back to the bank and store that trillion real quick. We just pulled out of here. Just trying to keep it all together so it's easier for me to keep track of. So I know what's what. 10 black, another 6 white, another 14 ghost iron. So in total, I need to make, I think it's 3 trillion bars. I'll find out on the other character. But you know, just a mental note. I need to make X amount of trillion bars and 300 ghost iron ore, or not ore, but bars. So I need a total of 600 ghost iron ore, plus I think it's 3 or 6 trillion bars per transmute for living steel. If it's 6 and I have to do it 30 times, 6 times 30 is how much living steel you need. 180. Anything else we need to bank? Nope, everything looks legit. Send off a mail real quick. Shifty Claws always gets my sorceress, and Shifty Bull always gets temporals because he's my enchanter. Shifty Claws gets the sorceress because he's my transmute master, and in case I need to transmute sorceress to a different sorceress, he's right there to do it. Now, Shifty Bull is that enchanter. Since we're in War Spare, we'll go ahead and start our farm first. We're not burning our garrison earth and getting stuck at our farm. I want to be able to use my bank. So, Songflowers on this one, or Song Bell. Collect emotes of harmony. I noticed over the course of all the time that I've been doing these farms for the last expansion into this one, that, yeah, I have 5 characters with farms, but I only need 2 of them for enough ore to make a sky golem every month. So the remaining 3, I thought to myself, what can be most beneficial? Well, those 2 characters with all that ore, I had a bunch of extra ore that I couldn't do nothing with except wait for the next week. So I decided I'm going to do songbells. Songbells take, they give you the motes of harmony. You combine 10 motes to a spirit. With 3 spirits and 3 trillium bars, you can transmute a living steel infinitely. You don't have to wait for the daily cooldown like with the 6 trillium bars. So, I take all my extra ore, I take all my extra motes, I send them over to my transmute master, which gets procs sometimes. And at the end of 30 days, when I make my sky golem, I also craft all of the trillium ore, or all of the trillium into living steel. Once I have all my living steel, I take the original 30 that I did on the daily cooldown every day for 30 days. And then I make my sky golem, and then I take the motes of harmony, or the spirits of harmony, and the remaining trillium bars, transmute as much living steel as I can. I sell the sky golem, usually goes around 20k. And then I sell the remaining living steel. Usually go about 300 gold each. I make more gold from these farms than I know what to do with. These farms alone can fund my WoW account. I don't even have to make a sky golem, and I could just sell the materials and fund my WoW account with these 5 farms. I mean, 300 gold each. You only have to sell 300 living steel to make 300 gold each at 100 of them. You sell 100 living steel, and that's 30,000 gold. Let's see how many I make by the end of the month. That's something I won't touch till the end of the month. I might get it all taken care of. Alright. Let's get these songbells planted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is the 8th one. go. Those are all set. Let's head to the garrison, get those chores done. After I'm done focusing on these garrisons are pretty much an educational debut to my stream here. Came up with this idea. I wanted some sort of gimmick, something to increase my following. So I thought to myself, what is something that people can benefit from? What is something that people need to do in this game? And that's when, like I was saying earlier, I see all these people begging for gold and asking me, how do I make so much gold? Because I'm always at like a couple 100,000 gold, and I spend gold and give gold away. I gave game time to 2 characters the other day. 2 guild members that were hard up with an issue, and they all got game time. You know, that's how we do things here at Horde Supremacists. We understand that we're only as strong as our weakest link, and the farther people fall behind, the weaker that those links are going to be. So why make him sit for 2 weeks until he can get game time when his next paycheck comes through, or whatever the reason may be, when I got 200,000 gold sitting in my private guild bank that I could do whatever I want with. So I bought him a 30 game. I gave him the gold for a 30-day game token. You know, he was an officer in my guild. He's always been best interest of the guild. This person I'm talking about specific. He's never done the guild wrong. It's kind of a bummer that he hasn't been there because he's been working so much and what have you. And you know, it felt good to be able to be in the position to be able to help somebody out that goes out of their way to help your guild out. After this garrison, I'm going to stream. I'll leave it live, but I'm going to go AFK just for a moment because I have to take care of a bio break. We'll get this one done first, though. First wing done, into the second wing. Second wing done. completed. Head over to the profession buildings. We'll touch up on these again. Obviously, we do our mine to collect mats. A for crafting, B for our work orders, most importantly. We do the herb garden for the same reason. We get the seeds for our work orders, and we take the herb for materials for potions, flasks, milling glyphs, all that good stuff. 28 out of 7 work orders. Sounds about right. My bags are a real mess on this character because I was in Firelands yesterday trying to do a clear on Major Stagholm because he drops that druid only pet. So I got a bunch of crap in my bags. So 20 true ore, or 20 true iron ore was the daily. I turned in 20 ore basically just from looting it out of my garrison. I got 282 gold. There you go. So jewel crafting gets me almost 3 crystals a day per character. It's 2.8 crystals per day per character. You do that on 5 characters, do the math. That's 10 plus 40 is... That's 14 crystals a day at 150 gold apiece. That's quite a bit. Then you do your jewel crafting daily and you average, I want to say average 200 gold because there's a few times where I get under 200 gold, but most of the time it seems like it's more than 200 gold. But we just got 282. You do that on all 5 characters as well. Basically all you'll have to do is keep dust from your resources out of the... You'll have to log onto your character, loot your resources from your garrison cache, then loot your resources from your trade post. Put your work orders in on your trade post, then come over here. Put your work orders in on this with the dust that you buy from your trade post when it's cheap. Then come over here and put your work orders here from the stuff that you loot out of your mine. Simple as that. You loot your mine, you loot your garrison resources, and you keep these 2 buildings stocked, and you'll be able to fund like 2 to 3 accounts every month. You'll have more gold than you need to buy a token every month and be able to spend gold. I don't want to say free, at free will, but you'll definitely be able to spend your gold on repairs or items. You're not going to be able to every month go out and buy a $100,000 gold mount, but you're not going to be hurting, and you're not going to have to ask anybody to help you out ever. Just from these 2 buildings alone, right there. Cash cows. Garrison cash cows right here. Enchanting, jewel crafting. Enchanting, jewel crafting. Again, we just looted. Let me scroll up so you can see what we looted. We looted 28 fractured temporal crystals with our 7 work orders. And the quest was out of stock true iron ore. We gave him true iron ore at the jewel crafting. Got our jewel crafting payment of 282 gold. I can't sell that shit in the auction house for anywhere near that price. So, yeah, I will do that quest every day of the week if it lets me. Alright, let's hit the bank and dump off all our extra mats. That way, in case I have to go do something, I can get it done without having to dump all my bags. Got some enchanting mats of old. Get all this stuff put away. Running low on ores. I've already collected 20 of these temporal crystals are from this week. At least 20, probably 40 of them actually. I think are from this week. Yeah, 40 of them. I did the stack of 200 twice. I've cleared them. So 40 of these are from this week alone. And I'm about to have another stack as soon as I go to my mail and pull that stuff out of my mail later. And so 60 crystals already this week. 60 at 150 gold a piece if you want to sell them outright. Or like me, I like to craft stuff and put enchantments in the auction house and see if I can't make a little extra gold that way. Depending on how much the enchantments are going for, will dictate whether or not we're going to do that. All these BOEs will send. I got those from running Firelands. I don't expect them to sell. Some of them probably will, but I'm not counting on it. So I'm not counting any of that stuff in the weekly Garrison stream, because I don't need to. That's just bonus stuff that I get to sell, you know, because I was trying to collect a toy. We'll do another 20 crystals real quick. Oh, there's the other 20 were still in my bags. And then this character being an enchanter, I also get to do my temporal crystal daily. Those luminous shards for the daily I get from that vendor, the trade goods vendor, the trade post vendor. I buy the dust. I turn 20 dust into the crystals. So usually I'll do like a stack at a time because I buy a bunch of dust at a time, like you've seen in the other episodes. So let's get this stuff put away. See, I got tons of dust to make more of these luminous shards when I need to. And then now that stuff's put away, let's go ahead and mail this stuff off to the characters that need it. Shifty Claws gets the motes. And then, because this guy's an enchanter, I always keep a little. I don't send the sorceress off that I get because I wind up using them. So I'm just going to store these in my bank here until I need them. If I need more, I could always get more off my other two. And now we're going to take that intermission. I'll be right back. next tune. We got this one's all mail sent. Everything's banked. Let's move on to the next one. For those of you just joining us, this is Garrisons, Changing the Way You Pay, episode 7. So we've been doing this for a week, collecting mats. Haven't been using them, just been collecting them. I have more mats than I know what to do with. I had more mats than I knew what to do with before I started doing this stream. And that's what made me decide. You know, all these people complaining, they don't have gold, they don't have WoW time, they don't have money to buy WoW time, and then it's like, alright, let me make a series of educational videos that will teach you how to fund your own WoW accounts. I haven't paid for my WoW account with real money in months. All I do is this every day. Get this farm done. We've been lollygagging around on this stream. It's been about 45 minutes or so. Actually, I could check the timer. 49 minutes. So I wasn't too far off. Granted, I'm not powering through this. I'm narrating it and going to my bank and, you know, talking about buildings and stuff like that. So that's what's taking a little extra time. The last time that I did this on all 5 characters, and when I say all 5 characters, I'm talking mines, herb garden, the entire garrison, all the buildings, plus all 5 farms. It took me 52 minutes. Oops, wrong button. But yeah, it was 52 minutes, and I probably still could have did it faster then. But that's 5 characters. I mean, you can find a balance for you that you prefer that's not 5 characters. I've been showing you guys and pointing out ways to make gold that if you did the math, you could probably do it on 1 or 2 characters. Or if you did all of this together on 1 character, you could probably even do it then. You know, like, I'm going over different aspects. This farm makes me 30K a month or better. The enchanting studio probably makes me, I don't know, it was quite a bit. The 5 jewel crafting huts, which I don't have. I only have jewel crafting hut on 1, just my jewel crafter. But that jewel crafting hut makes me, you know, quite a bit of gold. Not just the daily, but if you include the gear that I make and craft. You know, jewel crafters make rings and neck pieces. Those still sell, even though they're only sometimes down to a few hundred gold each. out to the garrisons. So again, make sure you loot your cache every day. It caps at 500 resources. I'm getting almost 200 a day out of it. Let's get this farm or this herb garden all looted up. I tell you, frostweed seems to proc the least amount of extras out of all of the herbs, and it is the absolute most used herb, so it makes perfect sense that Blizzard would do something like that. I hope that was a Blizzard GM popping up to check on me. Into the mine. Where's all our goodies? Ah, no mining picks. I think I'm going to start doing the farms first always. It seems to go a little faster. I'll see the difference in time, and I'll note it on one of these episodes after I try it. We'll do it for a couple of days, see how consistent it is. Roxy, what are you doing? My dog is in the other room. Like, looks like she's trying to tear down the curtains that are by the sliding glass doors. into the profession buildings. Yeah, that gives you quite a bit of ore every day. I mean, I've definitely haven't had much of an issue keeping all my work orders up.
How you doing, man? Stay away from the voodoo. No ground. Stay up late.
What you?
Later on, towards the end of the series, when really pumping out some gold, or even maybe in the middle of the week when, or in the middle of the series when I decide to just start posting some auctions to clear some bag space, or however I need to do it, I'll go over some of the add-ons that I use to help me out, and some of the other add-ons that I'm considering using, and some of the add-ons that you should probably stay away from, because they're just a nuisance. But there's a few key add-ons that are very beneficial. Just to name a couple of quick ones. Bagnon makes it all one bag. Allows me to hover over an item. See how many I have on each tune, like these mining picks. You can see how many I have on each of my characters. I know it's listed twice. One of them's Bagnon, one of them's Altaholics, which is another add-on I like to use to keep track of mail, skills, gear, all types of stuff. Pretty much anything that you want to look at you can find on this add-on. Your characters, bag space. I can search guilds, achievements, agenda, calendars, the grids for the gear on all the characters. I can go to different realms, all the characters on different realms that I play. It tells me when activity, it tells me expiring mails. Like this one, 3 will be returned upon expiry, closest return in 8 days, 7 minutes. Tells me what they are. When I click it, there's the mail. It's going to be those BOAs that I sent to that character. So I know, better not let that expire. It alerts me. I have it set to alert me 4 days before it expires, so it'll start popping up an error message. Hey, you have expiring mail on this character. And this is a very beneficial add-on. Bagnon, very beneficial add-on. It does the same thing for your bank. Guild bank too, if not to keep them all, but it has a guild bank format that I don't use. I just turn that aspect of it off. It's kind of a nuisance, like I was saying. When it comes to withdrawing and depositing gold and stuff like that, it gets to be a nuisance. It's not as user-friendly as the factory UI. Auctionator is a big one that I use to help with posting auctions with undercuts, getting undercut, doing scans, keeping tracks of history of what items sell for what. You know, it's very beneficial. I'll touch up on that when we're posting auctions. Let's see here. I don't have a bank on this guy, so I'm not going to take the time to run all the way to the bank right now. He's done. Let's get on the hunter. Oh, he's not done. I apologize. Does anybody know what I forgot? Professions. I forgot to do my daily cooldown. That's huge. You get so much bonus stuff from doing that. When I say bonus stuff, I mean the reward is way bigger than any work order. See, it just gave me 20 catalyst. I also procced the Sorcerer's Water as an extra. And then, like we were talking about before, that transmute living steel is 6 trillion bars. You have to do that 30 times. I do that one a day. Even without procs after 30 days. See how I got 8? That's because I procced an extra one once. Because this is only the 7th day. I started on day 1. And I got an extra one on one of them. So I'm a day ahead, actually. And then, so it's 30 times 6. I'm having a brain fart right now. I don't even know why. Probably because I haven't eaten anything yet this morning. Well, 30 times 3 is 90. 90 times 2 is 180. So 180 or 180 trillion bars is all you need per month to do that daily cooldown. And then all the extras you have, you use those motes like I was talking about earlier. Turn the motes into spirits, and 3 spirits plus 3 trillium make 1 living steel. Let me find it. It's right here. Transmutes of old, riddle of steel, 3 and 3, and I get extras on that, and I can do it all day long. It's not 1 a day cooldown, so very beneficial. Now I think this druid is geared more than my main, or at least the pieces that I got were more beneficial to my spec. But that's okay. Blizzard does that to me every expansion. They took my hunter away from me in Kata by making my mage way more geared. And then in Panda, I changed to a feral druid. I like to fancy myself a talented feral. I've taken down a lot of so-called skilled ferals. I've taken down some top streamers. Like I went in a twos match against Swifty and a hunter, and it was me and a hunter, so I had my hunter buddy pair up against the other hunter to keep him under wraps so I can free cast on Swifty. And my hunter buddy got the better of his hunter buddy. And in the meantime, when he turned to help me out, Swifty was already dead. I killed him in like 12 seconds. He was not happy. It was live on his stream, and he raged for 10 minutes how overpowered ferals are and how unbalanced this game is. And after about 10 minutes of him ranting and raving on his stream, he finally just turned off his stream and said he was done doing twos. It was a proud moment for Horde supremacists everywhere. Red power. Another thing that I'm trying to do for you guys is I'm trying to get a webcam up and running. I've been downloading some applications and seeing about getting a webcam up and going for everybody to see my stream and see me on my stream. I figured that'd be fun to play with. All the other major streamers get to give you a visual, so I figured why not do the same for my guild and my followers and my fans. I have to take this phone call. What's up, buddy? I leave here at about 11:35. 11:35, so in about an hour. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for calling me, and I'll see you when you get here. I'll see you when you get here. Alright, buddy. Take it easy. Peace. That's a buddy of mine who's stopping by before I go to work. He's like, oh, what time you go to work? He's like, alright, I'm just waking up, rubbing my eyes. I'll see you soon.
How may I aid?
Good, honest buddies are hard to find. You find a good, honest buddy, hang on to them. They're few and far between. There's so many people that'll stab you in the back in this world. Alright, deep into the crater of what we call my garrison mine. We should be playing like the Nintendo Mario Brothers dungeon music every time that we walk into a mine. It'd be cool if I could dub that in somehow. Do 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 do. 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 Alright, I guess that shows my age. I used to play the shit out of my NES. Matter of fact, if I had a camera, I could show you right now that it's plugged in underneath my TV, hooked up, ready to rock. I still play it. It still works. The Legend of Zelda is still my favorite game. Alright, moving on. Frontier. Wing 1 to Wing 2. Get all this stuff looted. Ready to rock. You know, I wonder how long it would take somebody. And I'm not talking like refer a friend or any crazy bonus like that, but I wonder how long it would take somebody if somebody seen my stream and said, wow, this guy's playing WoW for free. Because I haven't paid to play this game in months. I even removed my credit card off of my account a long time ago. I got the timer on my Battle.net page, and I got an extra 30k sitting on my low-level tune just in case. Because I'm pretty sure I can log on my low-level tune as long as I have enough gold that's under level 20 if I run out of time and walk into the auction house and buy a game token. Pretty sure I can do that. If not, I could just open up a ticket or whatever and talk to somebody live and be like, hey, put me on for 10 minutes so I can go buy game time on with my gold. And you would think that they'd be kind enough to do that for me. Especially being that they sell those tokens for $5 more than a standard 1-month game time subscription. So it's like an extra $5 for every one of those that they sell instead of me paying them $15 a month to play. I'm buying a token which somebody paid $20 for me to play. So Blizzard is pretty fucking smart. They just figured out a way to because they're not just generating these tokens, they're only selling them. So they're only available if people bought them with real money. So they're getting advancements on game time for $5 more than what they get subscriptions for.
Yeah, what do you want?
I think that's rather ridiculously crazy, but oh, I'm out of leather on this character, miraculously. I got just the right amount for my work orders, but, oh, this goofy broad, she sells everything way overpriced. It's 1,200 gold a stack, or 1,200 resources a stack, but I don't have a choice in the matter because I have to do my dailies. So I need the leather because this guy's my leather worker. Let's double check, make sure we got them all turned in. Yeah, so it was just enough. Let's get these other buildings done. See, look, I got an enchanting study on everyone. The reason that I put an enchanter study on everyone is because I wanted more materials to make more enchantments, because I know, especially on patch days, enchantment prices go up. You know, when new gear is initiated and stuff like that. Aside from that, they have this little pot in the middle that you can right click and it says Essence Font can break down weapons and armor of good quality or higher into enchanting materials. The item is permanently destroyed. So this is basically just disenchanting my gear. Even though I'm not an enchanter on this character, I'm leather worker and engineer, I can use this. Do I even have anything to... Let's see, Season 1, level 600. Scales to 660. So I'll put these on. And then these bone chain bracers. I'll disenchant them. And see what it gives me. Look at that, I just got 6 dust and I'm not even an enchanter. See how crazy that is? So if you get in here, as soon as you're level 91 and get an enchanter building in there, you can, and save all your warlock, because it won't work for anything previous to this expansion. So it has to be like this expansion's gear. But all the quest gear that you get and all the drops that you get that you want to disenchant if you don't have an enchanter, you can just walk in here and disenchant them to save your bag space and collect materials to sell. Unless the item sells for more than what the materials are valued, unless you need the materials, you know what I mean? So it's all situational. But there's so many tools that they give you with this garrison that I never leave my garrison to make money. I never do. Never. Never once. The only time I leave my garrison is to kill Alliance. You don't get any or much gold doing that, if any. Oh, well, here. I need this anvil. Right here is an anvil or whatever. I know there's an anvil in there, this building, because it allows me to do my stuff. Here, spring parts. Oh, and that. The other part of that sky golem is these jars per kilogram energy source. So we always make those one a day, and see, I'm up to 8 on those too, because there was 31 days in the last month. So I got an extra day. Let's get to the farm. Waiting for my buddy to show up. Hopefully I can get the farm done on this character before he shows up. He probably won't be here for another 10-20 minutes, I hope. That way I can get the next character done too. You know, I hated these farms when they implemented them in Pandaria because they took so long to open up. But if you open up your farms on your characters now, You literally open up your farm in like 5 or 6 days, I think it was. You can get all the plots open if you do the dailies every day. Another thing that I noticed is at like 91 when I was doing the dailies. Because I was already over level when I was out here doing it, because I already had a garrison on my last team. But at 91 when I was doing the dailies on my mage, trying to open up the farm, what happened was I noticed the daily experience was scaling as well because it was a daily quest. It was giving me like a much larger experience gain than what I remember. I don't know if they fixed that or not, but it was a pretty neat little exploit to take advantage of because they were daily quests. I'm really getting sick of this game lag. I'm gonna blame it on the live stream. But I just plowed a whole row of stuff and nothing happened. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is number 8. Always do these blue ones first because they build stacks. The faster you get on them, the faster you can take care of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is number 8. So the farm's done. Again, this character does not have a bank, so I'm not going to waste my time emptying his bags. I'm live on stream right now, so I don't feel like going and chasing a bank down. And last but not least, Mr. Mage here, Shifty Blinks, which I should probably change his name to Shifty Sheeps. Much of this I can get done before my buddy shows up. This one always takes forever because all these slow casting and then always wrong button. I'm such a goof. Let's do this. Let's do this. I need you to patrol with me. I need to summon my water elemental. Now I got a whole army of fools. to the dungeon.
I can't use that item yet.
Let's see here. I think it's funny. I got 16 gigs of RAM, but I don't have like the greatest processor in the or graphics card in the world. I have a decent one. I mean, it's 1 gigabyte dedicated DDR3, so it shouldn't be that bad. But it's just I get these lag spikes like that all the time while I'm streaming. Alright. Almost done in the mine.
My spell isn't ready. I can't cast that yet.
Alright. And that ends that. Let's get the hell out of this dirty mine.
That ability isn't ready.
Get these work orders started. Get the profession buildings done. Got my tailoring building going. That's another thing is, what did I just loot? 32 hex weave cloth. So that's what? Just over 3 days, and you make a hex weave bag that's worth like 12 to 1500 gold. Or you could use them for your characters. I've got 300 hex weave cloth in the 7 days that I've been doing this stream with you guys. Get those fractured temporal crystals. Like I said, every one of my buildings, Garrisons has one of those buildings. And then I pair up my professions with the other two buildings. So like this one's blacksmith and tailoring. So my tailoring building is over here. Then I got my jewel crafting. I always put the one that I do all my crafting in at the end, and because this one requires an anvil, so I have my blacksmith at the end because it's the last thing that I do. It just helps me get my stuff done faster. So I got 32 plus 20 hex weave cloth. That's 50 a day. So every 2 days you should be making a bag, or saving it to make a bunch of bags, because the bags sell for more than the gear, unless you're spending tons and tons of mats to upgrade all your gear, which I don't even know if it's worth it yet. I mean, the first couple of weeks that the patch was out, it was worth it, but I don't think it is anymore. Now you're basically breaking even because of all the fell blights and stuff. The reason I say that is because I don't go out and farm any of that shit. I would rather buy it out of the auction house, put it together, and repost the item in the auction house and sell the item. It saves me so much fucking time and effort, and my time is valuable to me. That's why I do this. So let's go ahead and hearth to the farm and get the last farm done. Get these moats. Like I said, I only make ore on 2 tunes, and I make moats on the rest for all the extra trillium. It's sometimes I don't know if it's going to be enough. See how fast that popped? Because it didn't have a chance to build stacks. So I always jump on those stubborn weeds or whatever the hell they're called right away. Yeah, stubborn weed. The longer they sit, the more stacks they build, the longer it takes to get them out of the ground.
It's still charging. I can't cast that yet. It's still charging. It isn't ready yet. It's not ready. I need a target. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. It's still charging. It's not ready yet.
Alright, got all this shit plowed. Now to plant my flower. Plant my seed. See, it's comments like that that you had to click that mature content button. I did that to protect my ass in case children are trying to watch to do this. This would be real beneficial for kids, especially when their moms are like, I'm not paying for your WoW account anymore. Well, why the hell should she have to? You could do it yourself. All it takes is an hour a day or less. If you just do those garrison buildings like I was telling you earlier in this stream, just do an enchanter study and a jewel crafting hut at level 2 on 5 characters. That'll more than fund your account. You do whatever the hell you want. I was always one, like, when I was younger and I would do something to piss off my parents. My parents would, ground me from the internet because they knew I liked to play games. So I figured out a way to link to the internet without paying for it. I found a free website host with minor restrictions. But those minor restrictions were everything I needed to get online and play online poker and to get online and play the games that I was playing at those particular times. That's all I needed was a basic connection. So when I found a provider that would give me internet free of charge, I jumped on it, and they couldn't take it away from me anymore. So that's everything. We're hearsing back. Take a quick peek. Maybe send off a mail. I got gotta send Shifty Claws the moats. And the sorceress. Because I have no use for him. And Shifty Bull, my enchanter, gets the enchanting mats. And then you can see I got tons of stuff. Ignore what's in the guild banks. Like the 2800 in Horde Supremacists and the 1200 in For Sale. But all the other stuff, the 981 in his Regent Bank, that I think is some of that's from that I had saved. I think like 5 stacks of that I had saved. So like, or 4 stacks of that I had saved. So minus 800 of that. I have like 1700 Gorgon fly traps. I have 2200 fireweed. 900. Oh, those are true stealing. That's what I was trying to do. 1400 songflowers. 2,000 or almost 2,100 Talador orchids. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I've accumulated just this week. So if you can just accumulate mats and make the stuff for your own characters, like your potions and your flasks and your elixirs and your glyphs and all that, if you have your own guys, or you can just pay somebody else to do it with your mats that you're collecting with, you know what I mean, with everything. You shouldn't have to pay for anything. I mean, I pretty much don't buy much of anything out of the auction house unless I need some extra mats to top off what I don't have when I'm making that one last piece or whatever. So, I mean, you should more than be able to just fund your account and fund your characters and supply all the buffs that you need to yourself. Like, this game is completely self-sufficient now. Now that they've introduced these tokens, this game is completely self-sufficient. You should never have to pay to play this game. You should never have to go out of your way to do any sort of farming. You should never have to do any of that. It's all taken care of. So that concludes episode 7, Garrisons, changing the way you pay. We'll see you